Southern Kentucky. This is WYNT Mountain News at 11.
Good evening, I'm Steve Hensley. The United States has passed a grim milestone in the fight against the coronavirus. COVID-19 has now killed more than 10,000 people in this country. And as the death toll rises, a major world leader's condition takes a turn for the worse. CBS's Elise Preston has the latest from New York.
British Prime Minister Boris Johnson is now in intensive care at a London hospital. The 55-year-old was diagnosed with COVID-19 nearly 2 weeks ago. He was first hospitalized Sunday night. A spokeswoman described the move as a, quote, precaution should he require ventilation. President Trump said he hopes his transatlantic ally makes a speedy recovery.
He's a great gentleman, so I just hope he's okay.
The number of coronavirus deaths in the U.S. has now soared past 10,000, nearly half in New York. In New York City, officials are weighing the idea of burying some victims on public land.
We may well be dealing with temporary burials, so we can then deal with each family later.
New York Governor Andrew Cuomo extended the state's stay-at-home guidelines through April 29th. Cuomo also increased the maximum fine for violators to $1,000.
None of us has the right to be reckless in our own behavior, which compounds the problem we're dealing with. Now is not the time to be playing Frisbee with your friends in the park.
The White House continues to resist calls for a national stay-home order. Coronavirus task force member Dr. Anthony Fauci says that may not actually be necessary.
I want to make sure people understand that just because they don't have a very strict stay-at-home order, they have in place a lot of things that are totally compatible with what everyone else is doing.
The current hot zones include Detroit, where cases have tripled in the last 9 days to more than 5,000. Chicago has a similar number of patients. Experts say the next hotspots will likely include Miami and Philadelphia. Elise Preston, CBS News, New York.
Wisconsin's presidential primary will go ahead as scheduled tomorrow. On Monday, a judge overruled its governor's decision to postpone it due to the coronavirus outbreak. The Commonwealth of Kentucky passed its own milestone today. Governor Beshear announced 54 more cases of COVID-19, bringing the total to 1,008. 14 people have died now, bringing the death toll to 59. Those 14 were new today. And while he did not report any new cases in southeastern Kentucky, we were able to confirm several new cases with local health departments. Whitley and Morgan counties reported their first case, and Laurel County announced its fifth. And today in Knox County, the Barberville Police Department confirmed one of their officers tested positive for the coronavirus. The announcement came shortly after the Knox County Health Department released information that they had their first positive COVID-19 case. There are 6 officers now in quarantine, as well as Mayor David Thompson.
I'm hoping with what's happened today, myself and part of the police department being quarantined, one police officer testing positive, that the public will fully see now what we're trying to do so that everybody understands that this is not a joke.
With its first case, the Knox County Health Department continued to stress the importance, again, of following CDC guidelines to prevent any exposure.
Well, it was a nice day in the mountains, a pretty gorgeous and warm evening out there, and soak it up while you can because tomorrow's going to be a little bit of a different story. Looking at Interstate 75 into Mount Vernon, very quiet as we head over there and really just seeing those clear skies. And as we look at satellite and radar, continuing to see those clear skies and a few showers earlier this evening, but mainly down into Tennessee, Virginia, maybe right there along that Kentucky border as well. Temperatures still on the comfortable side for a lot of us, low to mid 60s. Some spots already hitting the 50s over into Somerset, down into Middlesboro, but for tonight, most of us will really drop into the mid 50s. We'll kind of see those mostly clear to partly cloudy skies, but all eyes are on tomorrow and even your Wednesday, as strong to severe storms are possible. You can see all of us under that slight risk as we head into tomorrow. We'll talk a little bit more about those storms and the timing that's changed a little bit coming up in just a few short minutes.
All right, thank you, Paige. Now to some breaking news out of Whitley County. That's where the coroner tells us one person is dead after they were hit by a car. It happened around 9 o'clock on US 25 West near the Emlyn community. We do not know that person's identity or what led up to the crash. We will, of course, keep you updated here and on WYMT.com. The Floyd County Sheriff's Office is working to keep things in order, keeping an eye on the county's businesses, churches, and people. WYMT's Buddy Forbes followed sheriff's deputies as they completed welfare checks today throughout the county.
As people remain in self-quarantine and many businesses keep their doors closed, deputies in Floyd County are still on the roads.
City, county, state, we all try to work hard together, trying to fight a unseen force, COVID-19. How and when and where, we don't know where it's going to happen, when it's going to happen, but we're doing our best to make sure that we're all in this together.
The Floyd County Sheriff's Office is completing daily check-ins to make sure all is calm on the storefronts.
We want to make sure that those businesses are protected, those businesses that people who's put their life savings in their business, that they're not broken into.
And checking in with the county's most vulnerable to make sure they are safe and have access to the things they need.
It's got a lot of people spooked, and there's very good reason to be spooked. And they don't want to leave the residence, and that's kind of why we're here. They don't have to leave the residence.
The Coast program is gaining new seniors every day as the department helps senior citizens by doing their shopping and providing a small dose of socializing.
I appreciate that. Where's your con, my brother down Allen? Anytime, buddy. We get as lonely as they do from people. I mean, we get out, we're able to speak to them, talk to them. I mean, it makes us feel good as much as it does them.
Coast and the check-ins serve one purpose: giving the community a sense of security in an unsure time.
It makes them feel a lot safer than what it would.
And knowing that the programs are making a difference,
hey, that's the greatest feeling in the world,
gives the deputies all the satisfaction they need. In Floyd County, Buddy Forbes, WYMT Mountain News.
Anyone who would benefit from the Coast program or any business owner with concerns is asked to contact the Floyd County Sheriff's Office at 606-886-6711. As more people wear personal protective equipment, PPE, like gloves and masks, those items may not be as beneficial as we think if we don't use them correctly. Some are wearing them while continually touching their face and multiple surfaces with the same pair of gloves. Scott Lockard with the Kentucky River District Health Department says disposing PPE incorrectly can also endanger others.
And creating trash which may be contaminated with germs, and for individuals who wore these gloves on the inside, they've sweated, and so this creates another hazard for individuals that come in contact with these.
You should remove your gloves correctly so you do not spread germs, and wash your hands still before and after you use gloves. Health experts are calling for COVID-19 survivors. The Kentucky Blood Center wants them to donate plasma to be used in the fight against the virus. Antibodies from people who recover from the virus could help doctors treat new patients. As we told you last week, a Harrison County man was the first survivor to donate. Baptist Health began treatment last weekend. If you have recovered from COVID-19 and want to donate, you can sign up online. Today, the Dow Jones finished 1,600 points higher. This after finishing last week down for the third time in 4 weeks. As the markets continue to rise and fall, some are starting to look to their retirement accounts. Wealth advisors say now is not the time to panic. 401ks are something that are made over time and cannot be ruined overnight.
Well, there's a lot of people that are unsure what to do with their 401k accounts right now, and we're telling them, number one, not to panic and to avoid making rash decisions, with the thought that 401k accounts are intended to be long-term investments.
Norval says now is a good time to see a financial advisor and see how you can bolster your retirement portfolio. In the fight against COVID-19, doctors are getting creative to stop the virus from spreading, and that means using equipment originally designed for food preparation facilities. Victor Puente explains how a doctor, former lieutenant governor, and Hazard native hopes it will help fight the coronavirus.
The fight against COVID-19 has led to a lot of new research. Doctors have been searching for whatever can help. We're throwing everything, the kitchen sink, at the COVID-19 virus, trying to see what works.
And in some cases, new applications for existing technology.
In the food prep industry, which is the safest industry in the world as far as food preparation the United States has, they decontaminate facilities to kill listeria, bacteria, viruses.
Dr. Daniel Mangiardo believes that can help in the fight against COVID by flooding areas with particles that destroy viruses.
This creates all these billions of ionized particles, which then lands on surfaces, under surfaces, and it completely decontaminates on a continuing basis. Instead of deep cleaning like we have been doing with Clorox, this is ongoing.
Dr. Mangiardo said another benefit to that system is they would also help reduce the spread of the flu, strep, and the common cold.
I can tell you the day school starts because of the increase in strep, and this will kill strep on an ongoing basis.
He wants to see the devices in groceries, schools, and factories. They can be installed into AC units or be freestanding.
We're looking everywhere to find solutions to this very difficult problem, and I believe this is a piece of the solution to help reduce the spread.
In Lexington, Victor Puente, WYMT Mountain News.
Mangiardo says they've put one in each of their waiting rooms and hope to put them in their exam rooms. Coming up at 11, after a tiger in New York City tests positive for the coronavirus, local vets tell you how you can keep your pets healthy. And how some Eastern Kentuckians are making the best of the quarantine during the Easter holiday.
Strong to severe storms return to the mountains tomorrow. We'll break down the timing and impacts coming up.